Good afternoon. This is Unit 2, Formative 1, Day 1 video on Intro to Inequalities. First things first, we need to know what inequality symbols mean. So if we take a look at our two symbols that open like this, where it opens to the right, that means less than or equal to. It's less than or equal to for the third one here because of the line underneath the less than symbol. So remember, whenever it opens to the right, it's less than. These that open up to the left are greater than. And then, of course, with the line underneath, that means greater than or equal to. Another way you can think of it is that they're arrows. So the point of like less than, it's pointing to the left. So it's like an arrow to the left. Numbers that are smaller go left on a number line, or the point on the greater than. When you go to the right on a number line, that means numbers get bigger. So that's what the symbols mean. Another thing you need to know is interval notation. Interval notation is just another way of describing the solution or the solution set. So examples that you could have are solution sets with brackets. You might have a bracket here and a parenthesis there, or you could have a parenthesis there and a bracket there. Brackets tell us that the number is a solution, okay? So brackets, part of solution. Let's take a look at our first inequality. Based on the inequality symbol, we have x is greater than -3. Sorry, I apologize. X is greater than or equal to -3. We always start with the variable, okay? Let's make a number line. So on our number line, we just put 0, -3, and +3. Over -3, because it is greater than or equal to, we put a circle and we shade it in. Since it's equal to, that means -3 is part of the solution. Greater than, remember, numbers greater than -3 are to the right. We shade to the right. Interval notation. So because -3 is part of the solution, we put a bracket on for the -3. We go to the right. The arrow means it goes to the right forever and ever, so that means it goes to infinity. Infinity is not a number that's achievable or reachable, so we put parentheses around infinity every time. And again, about interval notation, you go left to right. So number 2, it says 7 is greater than x. However, we start with the variable. So you have to be careful on this. X is less than 7. If you have to, you can rewrite it as this. Just flip everything around. X is less than 7. On our number line, let's just throw a -7, 0, 7. Around the 7, because there's no line underneath our symbol, it's just an open circle, meaning it's not part of the solution. So because it's less than, numbers less than go to the left. so we shade to the left. And finally, our interval notation, starting left to right, the arrow goes all the way to negative infinity. Again, it's not achievable. And it goes to 7. It's not achievable, so we put parentheses around the negative infinity. And since it's an open circle on the 7, we also use parentheses on that side as well. Number 3. It says x is greater than or equal to 8. So let's just go ahead and write it as an inequality. X is greater than or equal to 8. Don't forget that line that goes underneath it. So our number line, just get our 0, 8, and negative 8. On 8, it's greater than or equal to. That equal to means closed circle. And since it's greater than, shade to the right. Numbers, again, that are bigger are to the right. Interval notation, going left to right. It starts at 8. Goes to positive infinity since it goes all the way to the right. 8 is included. It's a closed circle, so we use a bracket. Infinity is never reachable, so it's parentheses. Number 4, we have y is less than negative 3. So let's just go ahead and write this, graph this. 0, 3, negative 3. It's less than, no line, so open circle. It points to the left, that's what less than means, so we shade left. That's the shaded region represents the solution set. So going left to right, starts at negative infinity, ends at negative 3. However, negative infinity is never included. So is negative 3. Negative 3 has an open circle, so it's not part of it. Number 5, we have a graph given. It starts at 3 and it shades to the right. So we start with x. Going right is greater than. Notice the closed circle. Closed circle means or equal to. And it starts at 3. So x is greater than or equal to 3. Let's go ahead and find our interval notation. Again, starts at 3, goes all the way to infinity. Closed circle means bracket. Infinity, always parentheses. And finally, number 6, we have a graph shading left, open circle on negative 2. So we start with x. Going left means less than, and that's the smaller numbers. Open circle, no line underneath, so x is less than negative 2. Interval notation, left to right. Negative infinity, ending at negative 2. Both sides you need a parenthesis. Okay, make sure you take really good notes on this, and we will see you tomorrow.